physics, physics ordinary level, taught to me by Mr. Ganpet, addressed, touched on, described, visited motors and generators, maybe, and introduced concepts of commutator arm and slip rings and things like that. So I learned about motors since back then. How are you going to use a water can to make a motor? You know the aluminum water cans look like cylinders, right? If you cut them in bands, like bangles, you can wrap the wire around them, right? Then one of them has to be smaller than the other one. So you open it with the shears and you cut off a piece and make it smaller, right? Then you take a bicycle wheel and you take the hub and some spokes and put them through, and you attach the hub to the fork of the bicycle, right? And you wrap the two cylinders with wire, and you use your DC battery or AC around the rim somehow. So why did I choose the water can? Because it's cylindrical in shape. That's why, right? Remember the electric bell at Bushler Secondary School and the carbon printing press? I forgot the real name for it. They had a yearbook that year. So now I looked up Arctic and Antarctic, and I saw that Cancer, Tropic of Cancer, is between the equator and the Tropic of Cancer is between the equator and the Arctic Circle. Now I just figured out a way to remember. You know, they had the people here and stuff falling out in Europe, American werewolf kind of thing. That reminds you of Cancer, right? That didn't happen in the southern hemisphere in our history that we learned. But they had the plague in the northern hemisphere. That's Cancer, right? So Tropic of Cancer is up there. Now it turns out that the Tropic of Cancer is not the Arctic Circle. The Arctic Circle and the Antarctic Circle are those latitudes or parallels. They're called in America. They say parallels usually. We learned them as latitude, right? In Guyana. So those are the points. Arctic Circle and Antarctic Circle. The sun never seems to go beyond those two latitudes. I don't know from where you're viewing the sun. Maybe that plane of the whatever I don't know the real thing, but in in the spring, the sun is in the northern hemisphere, right? And the spring usually means spring in the northern hemisphere. Now, spring in the northern hemisphere is not spring in the southern hemisphere. Did you know that? Most people don't know that.